Can an Uber driver earn $500 per day or more? Talking about ride sharing, whether driving for Uber or Lyft, can you earn as a ride share driver $500 or more per day? That's what we're discussing. What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Now, the reason we're presenting this because there's no shortage of passengers who often ask, how much do you make? You've been asked that question if you're a rideshare driver, undoubtedly by someone. Oftentimes it is your passenger. Yours truly, I believe it's imperative to discuss salaries with passengers at the very least as often as you can. Fact is, many passengers do not realize how much of our fares go to Uber or Lyft. Could at least lead to some passengers being inclined to tip a little bit more if they knew you were only taking in 20-30% of the fare they're paying. So I would not advise any driver to shy away from discussing earnings with passengers that are curious about it. Nevertheless, the whole topic of this discussion comes from this same question: can you earn $500 a day or more in ride sharing? Being asked to someone online about a couple years ago. And I want to give you the gist of the answer at that time, and we'll compare it to today. Technically, a driver could make $500 in a day with Uber if everything fell into place. In May 2021, the Washington Post reported that some drivers in big cities were making close to $50 an hour due to good strategy and a driver shortage. In such cases, if drivers work 10-hour days, they certainly could reach $500. Now, there's a few issues in regards to this answer that need to be unpacked. First of all, this is from 2021. Here we are in the middle of 2023. Do you believe this same statement applies today? Now, there's a few things we need to first unpack. Obviously, there's no driver shortage today in 2023. There's a hell of a lot of folks on the road. Many in rideshare would suggest there's too damn many of us out here. More like a driver oversaturation. 2021, we're talking about right after the pandemic, so certainly a different dynamic in regards to the amount of cars on the road. So that's the first issue. You're going to make more money if you have less competition. So the article suggests that there was a driver shortage. There's no driver shortage right now. So that's the first issue we would tackle in regards to can you earn $500 a day or more as an Uber driver. Now, in the statement, they also pointed out, quote unquote, if everything fell into place. Well, we all can be damn sure everything does not always fall into place. If you're an Uber or a Lyft driver, you're going to have very few days where every damn thing falls into place. Now, falling into place could mean big ass surge pricing. Maybe Uber or Lyft offer some form of very lucrative earnings guarantee. Maybe you're in the middle of a streak bonus or something like that. That could be issues that fall into place. However, any driver that's been driving even a short period of time can tell you, in regards to bonuses and incentives, both Uber and Lyft are always, with emphasis on always, trying to reduce or eliminate additional bonuses, surges, and streaks that you may earn. So even if everything falls into place today, you can be damn sure that Uber or Lyft is trying to make sure that that is not available to you tomorrow. So let's take out earnings guarantees, bonuses, surges, and all of that stuff. Can you make $500 in a single day on base fare alone? My market, 72 cents a mile. I don't think there's any damn way I could come close to making $500 per day on base fare alone. I've made it clear I can do an average of about 3 trips per hour. There's going to be a little bit of wait time, a little bit of deadhead time driving to pick the passenger up, things like that. I usually average about 3 trips an hour. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get as many as 5. However, if I'm trying to earn $50 an hour, 10 hours, that's $500 a day. If I'm trying to earn $50 an hour, if you divide 50 by 3, you're talking about a little bit less, a little bit more than $15 per trip, or $16 per trip. A little bit more than $16 you need to average per trip if you do 3 trips. A $16 trip at 72 cents a mile is probably going to take more than a third of an hour to complete. So there is really no way, at least in my particular market, that you can earn $500 or $50 an hour without any type of surges, streaks, or anything going on. Hell, even if the car kept running and moving, I don't think you could do it. But what about in your market? Can you average $50 a day or $50 an hour all day? Perhaps that means with no downtime. Literally the moment you drop somebody off, you're getting pinged with another trip. And that trip is only maybe a mile or two away. And that's happening to you all day for 10 hours straight. Maybe under those circumstances. But once again, how often do you have a day when there is zero downtime? You're getting pinged with trips that are that close by. Perhaps you're getting pinged with trips, but some of them are 10, 15 miles away. That's different. So that's the first thing. Taking away surges, earnings guarantees, streak bonuses, and things like that. I don't believe you can average $50 an hour on base fare alone. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Now, also in the statement, they talked about earning that kind of money in big cities. You're damn right. That's the only markets that's going to happen in. Unfortunately, in ride sharing, most of the markets are not big cities. There's a hell of a lot of towns that have Uber or Lyft in them that are under 100,000. Population is less than 100,000. So yeah, if you're in New York or Chicago or Los Angeles, maybe. But what if you're in Boise, Idaho? You know, Billings, Montana. You're not going to do shit like that. Also, 10-hour days. I think that just about anybody earning $500 in a single day probably worked more than 10 hours. Just for the simple fact that most drivers during the course of a day have downtime. And I don't see this happening without you constantly being moving. I'm talking about no breaks, no lunches, and things like that. Now, maybe in a 16-hour day is possible, but 10 hours? You're going to work 10 hours, and every one of those hours you're going to average $50. I think that while this might be possible, it's almost once in a blue moon. I don't even think it falls into the category of everything fell into place. I think it is just akin to damn near hitting a low-level lottery. But let me know in your market, how often do you earn $500 in a single day or more? Now, keep in mind, this is without surges, bonuses, streaks, or tips. Obviously, somebody get in your car and they tip you $100, it affects your numbers significantly, but that's not realistic. That's not something you can depend on from day to day. 2021, only 2 years ago. My humble opinion, it just really shows how different the pay has dropped even from 2021 till now. But let me know in the comments, $500 a day, can you do it in your market? It's your boy Tim. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.